Hey everyone, Dev here, and we're back with a Fail of the Week video. So, let's jump in. Omega Supreme, taking a look at his regular village. I don't think we've seen this one too often in my videos, but take a look. Number 1, no Infernos. Number 2, no Expos. The Dark Elixir is nice and deep in the middle there, behind the heroes. Town Hall off-center. Collectors were quite full at this stage. And this person is trying to... Oh, look at that army. Golems, wizards, P.E.K.K.A. That can only mean one thing. Gowipe! This is why Gowipe sucks, people. In come some golems, some wizards to try and clear a funnel. Wall breakers, okay, not so bad, not so bad, looking okay, looking okay. Then in come the P.E.K.K.A, 2 of them. Alright, so he's got his funnel, he knows how to Gowipe, this guy's alright, yep, okay, that's cool. And Queen pinging away from behind the walls. King goes in there and distracts, so they force the heal. Alright, P.E.K.K.A gets aggro on the... Uh-oh. No poison spells. Those loons and dragons are going to destroy everything. Bahaha. Gowipe moves far too slow, people, and loons in the CC, if you don't deal with them quickly, are going to rip them apart. Alright, and a dragon as well. Another heal for some reason, and another jump for some reason. But this person's used a lot of resources just on that initial push, and there's too many compartments as well. The jumps weren't particularly well placed, and you ended up, well, as you can see, the haste spells did nothing. Poisons would have been much better in that case. Okay, and all that's left for this player now is just the archers to try and pick up a little bit of percentage. So Gowipe, once it hits, believe it or not, a few walls, is going to have a real issue. As a matter of fact, this person was probably better off from attacking from this side. And then putting the jump spell down early. But then again, it's all about the CC troops as well. This person's real failure, not by choosing Gowipe, was by not dealing with CC troops. Oh, in comes some Hogs, try and get some percent. But the Teslas over there do a short and sharp job frying them up pretty damn good. Okie dokie. So this raid is over, and well and truly failed. Sorry, Marcos22. You made it to Fail of the Week. Okay, time for another one. Right, this one comes from our man Shalont, and here's on defense. He's got a fairly common base design at Town Hall 10. This is not the way to approach it, ladies and gentlemen. He's tried to get a funnel going on the outside with the Queen, and then trying to draw out some CC, it looks like, with his Hogs. Using some heals early. His Valks at level 4 are just not strong enough. That Inferno on single is roasting that Golem. Then goes for the jump, but then the Loon and the Hound step in, and the Valks scatter. Inferno's doing their work, smashing everything up, and for some reason a random haste spell thrown in there. Once that Hound pops, okay, all the pups die, but job is done on the CC there, from the CC. All he's got left is a wizard and a couple of archers. Inferno on single, turns the roast on, there we go, goodbye Queen, and we've only got a couple of archers left, so we'll just speed up for completion. He'd be rather disappointed with that effort. He might get to about 40%, I think, but then again, fairly common base design. Just want to let you know, I've actually got a couple of videos of how to beat this base at Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11. The secret is bowlers. Alright, moving on. So the next one comes from War, and of course the obvious fail in this case is that Rio has taken 4 earthquakes, and you're about to understand why we always prefer you to take jump spells. Now I'm not quite sure why he's done this. First and foremost, looking at his army composition, he's gone with 25 Hogs and a Queen Walk. We would presume that the Queen Walk would be to dispose of the CC, and then the Hogs and the heals afterwards to clean up the rest of the base. Now there's no Infernos on this base, so with level 6 Hogs, Rio really should have destroyed this base, but unfortunately he's committed 4 spell slots when he really only needed to commit 2 to a jump if necessary, or 2 poisons. Yeah, we'll check this out and see about the wisdom of his ways. So he Queen Walks, which is okay. He actually sets up a pretty good funnel here to get into the middle of the core with the giants and the wall breakers, everything else. So there's some good stuff here. Using some wizards down here to make sure that the queen goes in when she's supposed to. There we go, and a golem. Okay, so here come the CC troops. We've got 2 loons and 2 witches. Let's see, 2 loons, 2 witches, and probably an archer. Yep, there it is. There's our 35. Right now, 2 heal spells are looking like gold. Absolute gold. Because these skeletons are going to wreck his day. Now, we encountered this defense a little bit in this war, and it was very difficult to deal with. 2 witches seems about right. 2 loons. I'm not sure what the rest of it's going to be, but definitely in this case, without the poison spells, the CC troops destroyed his queen and his king. Now, the Hogs have come in, and he's used a heal spell already. Okay, so things are looking okay, with the exception of these CC troops are disposing of his king, and now his Hogs have gone left and right, and we've got a little bit of resistance up top, but still we can see the heroes are up, and if the heroes are up and the CC troops are up, a hog ride is always going to fail. Okay, there we go. So all in all, a fairly sort of ill-advised and not very well thought out attack from Rio there. Okay, now we lost this war 62 to 68, which is a very low scoring affair. Some brutal attacks and a lot of 2 stars rolling around too. So it doesn't look like we did much in this war. However, the enemy did have their own fails as well. So we'll look at 10 football here. Okay, it's not all bad for Rio. He's got a fairly sturdy war base. And here we have one of these 4-corner ring bases that you see all the time. We're about to see a fail on this particular attack. CC radius is there, by the way. So earthquakes, trying to open up this compartment. Obviously, the person wants to try and drive into the core, but driving into the core from a corner with Valks is very risky. It's not impossible, but it's risky. Okay, so the golem gets over the line, deploys the CC, a whole bunch of archers and baby dragon. Then the infernos kick off. All right, and you can see some of his Valks and bowlers have gone around the outside. Don't know whether that was intentional. But he's going to get nowhere near the core with those wizards and king, and everything seems to be deflected down one side, and the golems have gone the other side. Okay, so a better way to attack these bases, believe it or not, is from a flat edge. I've said that before. I'll say it again. Teslas kick off and zap that queen to death, which is awesome. Okay, and the bowlers can't really reach around and get that town hall. So this attack is doomed. Doomed, I tell you. Alright, there we go. So 45% no star, attacking from a corner. Again, a very risky proposition. And the last one for today is 10 football again, this time against our man Evie. Okay, so Evie's got another one of these sort of horrible looking random compartments. He's got some infernos. Okay, they're low level, but they are infernos. And he's got CC radius there. Again, this person is using some Valks with some quakes and some golems. So we're opening up a compartment here and looking to make a breach with golems and wizards, trying to get that funnel sorted. Wall breaker fail right there. That's a bad sign. Things are going to go downhill really quickly from here. Once that wall breaker fails, it's very hard. So what he's done now is try to use the Valks and the bowlers to make that breach instead. And this time Evie's using himself a hound and a loon. Fairly smart choice in this case because very few of these units can actually fire in the air. Okay, the hound does go, so the loon does go down to the wizards. Okay, and the wizards end up distracted by the hound, not actually attacking the structures. And should pop any moment soon. But while that's happening, you can see everything has just sort of gone left, gone right when it should be remaining as a pack. Everything's sort of petered out. He managed to get the town hall, 45%, 1 star. Alright, okay, and because we're doing fails of the week, it's my duty to show you Dev's fail of the week. Oh my god, this one was horrible. Absolutely horrible. First and foremost, one of these ring style bases. This is a genuine ring rather than a square. Here's the CC, low level defenses, low level expos and everything else. This should have been a walk in the park. I went with Gowipe, but things went really wrong really quickly here. Giant goes in, loons and witches and archer in the CC. Here comes the queen. Okay, and a poison, which perhaps I should have taken a second one. I genuinely felt the queen was going to be able to do the deed here, but in the end she does not. I had to pop the ability early, but those skeletons just ended up overwhelming her. Okay, and then eventually I had to use my funneling force and try to take out the CC troops that way, and it didn't work very well at all. Alright, so if you get anything from this, it looks as though we can use max witches in the defense as an effective tool. Okay, so you can see that my wizards are having real issues here dealing with that. So I decided to continue with phase 2, which was make a breach, which I did successfully. The golem ended up distracting everything else. In goes my jump. Okay, in come the bowlers. Ended up crushing those witches. And then my witches come in as well. So trying to get into that core. I was always expecting some to go left and some to go right, but typically some of them jump into the middle here. But for some reason they didn't, and I popped my warden ability again too early. I've got to get better at that. So at this stage I thought to myself, no, we're still okay. We can get everything looping round. All I need to do is just be careful when I put my freeze down, okay? And then I should be all right. But it was about this stage where my little Wi-Fi Tower of Doom started showing up, and I started to panic a little bit. Okay. I pop off the king ability shortly. No, not yet. Okay, so I can see here that in this case I'm doing okay as long as that golem gets in front, and I should be able to just use my jump and freeze at just the right time. So I popped the king ability, and it was about, let's see, it's about just before the king goes down actually. Yeah, this is when I actually disconnected. And I'm not going to blame a disconnect for anything. It's a bad beat. You can't do anything about it. I don't really think it would have made much difference anyway. Just watching the rest of this, it seems as though my plan didn't really succeed anyway. Ring style bases are tricky, particularly this one that was sort of really awkward, and I do feel a bit embarrassed that I lost to this one so badly, particularly when I'm a Town Hall 11 and I've got such a strong force. But ultimately, it is what it is, and there's nothing much I could do about it. Okay, so as you can see, with no troops left, time ticking down. Yeah, frustrating logging in, but hey, 77% and some lessons learned. Alright, there we go. That's it for Fails of the Week. Thanks for watching. I hope you've learned something. Hope you can avoid the same mistakes, and I hope